Miss Meggy's Reading Adventures.
Hello, fellow adventurers. It is good to see you again. I hope you are doing well. I know there are so many adventurers like you out there that love exploring a good book. So let's like, share, and subscribe to the video so we can spread our adventures far and wide. Today's question has to do with feeling like you are invisible. Have you ever thought that nobody notices what you do? And you start to wonder, what if I were different? Then people would notice me. I would be so much more important. I know it can sometimes feel like we are invisible, and that isn't a fun feeling. Well, with today's adventure, our friend the Little Red Caboose will help us see things a little differently. Let our adventure begin.
The Little Red Caboose. Story by Marion Potter. Pictures by Tibor Gergerly. The Little Red Caboose always came last. First came the big black engine, puffing and chugging. Then came the boxcars. Then the oil cars. Then the coal cars. Then the flat cars. Sometimes they were switched around in different ways. But the Little Red Caboose always came last. Boys and girls waved at the big black engine. They listened to the boxcars, and the oil cars, and the coal cars, and the flat cars go clickety-clack. But by the time the Little Red Caboose came along, the boys and the girls were turning away, because the Little Red Caboose always came last. "Oh, smoke," said the Little Red Caboose. "I wish I were a flat car, or a coal car, or an oil car, or a box car, so boys and girls would wave at me. How I wish I were a big black engine, puffing and chugging way up at the front of the train. But I'm just the little old red caboose. Nobody cares for me." One day the train started up a mountain. Up went the big black engine, up went the boxcars, up went the oil cars, up went the coal cars, up went the flat cars, up went the Little Red Caboose. "Hang on tight, little caboose," called the flat car. "This is a long, tall mountain, and you are the last car on the train." "Don't I know it?" sighed the Little Red Caboose. "Poor me." The train went slower and slower and slower. Soon it was hardly moving. It looked as if that train could not get up the mountain. "Look out, little caboose," called the flat car. "The train is starting to slip back down this long, tall mountain." "Not if I can help it," said the Little Red Caboose. And he slammed on his brakes, and he held tight to the tracks, and he kept that train from sliding down the mountain. Then bump! The Little Red Caboose felt something pushing him from behind. It was two big black engines. They pushed the train up to the top of the mountain. "We couldn't have done it," said the big black engines, "if it had not been for the Little Red Caboose." Everyone cheered, and the Little Red Caboose nearly burst with pride. Now children wave at the big black engine and at all the cars. But they saved their biggest waves for the Little Red Caboose, because the Little Red Caboose saved the train.
Wow, the Little Red Caboose saved the day, all while being exactly who he thought wasn't important. It turned out that he was very important and was the only one that was able to save the train from sliding down the hill. All the time he thought he wasn't that important and that nobody even knew he existed. But it turned out that he was extremely important. That is something we should all remember. Even when we feel like we aren't very important, you are. You are amazing, and you are your best when you are you. I think you are pretty special, and you should too. You know, there is someone special we have to thank for suggesting we go on this adventure together. Mike from Enid, Oklahoma. Hello, Mike. Thank you for asking to explore this book. I have an official reading adventure bookmark on the way to you as a thank you. Before we go, I want to remind you all to like the video and subscribe for free to know when we start our next adventure. Also, head to the links to my social media pages in the description and post about what books you are reading. I also love to hear what you are reading and what books you would like to hear next. When your book is selected, I will give you a shout out at the end of the video and send you an official Reading Adventures bookmark. See you on our next adventure.